Tyler Plugged On here. I'm here with an album review, this time of the new album from the band Mastodon entitled Emperor of Sand. This came out March 31st, 2017 on Reprise Records. Mastodon, if you don't know them, I would call them a progressive metal band. They've been around for a while now. Debut album came out 2002, and they really evolved over their career. And with every album, they really do some different stuff. And I just feel like Mastodon is always one of those bands that you absolutely always look forward to what they're putting out, regardless of whether you like their last album or not, because they're just one of those bands that every album is truly unique, which is awesome. So I would say with The Hunter and Once More Around the Sun, Mastodon has been going in a little bit more of a more mainstream and accessible route, which I do very much enjoy, because I still think that even though they're going in a little bit more in that direction, they're still just way above everybody else. They still create amazing music to me. A lot of people didn't like Once Around the Sun. I fucking love that album. I don't think it's like their best album for sure. I'm a Crack the Sky guy, but I do think it was solid, and it was definitely better than The Hunter for sure. So I was very much looking forward to this. I reviewed the first track, Sultan's Curse, when it debuted a few months ago, and that's still an amazing song. It's a great song to start the album off with some solid riffage, some amazing guitar harmonies towards the end, and it just sets the tone for what this album is. And now I do think that this album is still on that side with The Hunter and Once More Around the Sun. It is an accessible album. It's a good album to jump into if you are looking to get into Mastodon, because I don't see Mastodon going back to who they were with Remission and Leviathan anytime soon. This is a good album to jump into, because I personally do think this album is probably better than Once More Around the Sun. I feel they just keep getting better and better at this stuff, and they create moments that you would go, oh, I can maybe hear that on the radio, but then at the same time, what takes it to a whole nother level is one, vocally, they have gotten so much better over the past few years as vocalists. Troy, Brandaler, and Brent Hines have all gotten way, way better at vocally. And I love how, one of them does not dominate the whole band, the other ones are just supporting it. It's kind of like, well, this just works out this way, and it just sounds better if you sing it or whatever. It's cool how they all play off of each other, and I think they harmonize really well. Roots Remain is one that really stands out to me. Steam Breather is one of my favorite songs as well. And the vocals in those songs just really stand out to me. But then Mastodon, they just constantly create these moments of wow to me. And they still do it on this album of, Sultan's Curse towards the end when the guitars are kind of harmonized and everything. It's awesome. Steam Breather is my personal favorite song in this whole album. I love that opening riff. I think that opening riff is super awesome, and it's kind of sexy. To be honest with you, I never thought I'd say that about Mastodon, but the vocals there are so good, and then the choruses that follow are just filled with emotion, and it's wonderful. Roots Remain is probably my favorite chorus on this album, and I feel when you hit Steam Breather up till probably Clandestiny, I'll throw Andromeda in there as well. That is the core of this album, and that is the best section of this album, to be honest with you. I love Andromeda. I think that's a good song, and it's definitely something that's good that has the Andromeda name in it, unlike the new Mass Effect game. But I liked the aggression in that song. This album, it stays at a fairly mid-tempo for the most part. There are times where it definitely speeds up, but I liked Andromeda bringing back a little bit of that aggression, and then Scorpion Breath kind of does the same thing. I would like to see Mastodon like, I don't want them to go back to how they were with Leviathan. Leviathan's great. Leviathan is what it is. That was them at that time. I just don't see them being, you know, almost, 13 years past that album, going back to that type of stuff. But I would like to see them balance things out a little bit more between their more accessible, singy, melodic side and that little bit more aggressive side, because I think, like in Andromeda and Scorpion Breath, those two stand out to me of like, wow, you know, there's some aggressive stuff in here, and I do like it for sure. But I do personally lean more towards the more beautiful side of Mastodon, because I just feel those moments hit a little bit harder, they stick with you a little bit more, and they are just incredible because Mastodon just does them so well. They'll mix some beautiful guitars with just absolutely amazing vocals that just seem like they go together hand in glove. And that's the thing with Mastodon. It just seems most of the time their writing never feels forced. It just feels so natural. It flows so well. Nothing ever really sticks out of like, that's weird. It just feels like they combed through everything until it's perfect type of thing, you know? Like, I haven't listened to any Mastodon album personally. You might be different, where I go, that sucks, you know? All their albums are good. And I love how they just constantly keep evolving and doing different stuff, because it's cool. I feel this one has a way different vibe than Once More Around the Sun or The Hunter. You know, it has its own atmosphere to it. Its own joy. And it's honestly, it's a really fun album to listen to. And this album's coming out at the perfect time of the year for me, honestly, because I love this time of the year where the weather starts to get nice. It's warm out. You can, you know, I have a somewhat long commute to work. What's supposed to be a not super long turns into really long because fucking traffic all the time. But so, you know, just kind of put the windows down and jam Mastodon. They're great. And so this is coming out at a really great time. I love this album. I think it has a tremendous amount of great songwriting on it. It's Mastodon continuing to just create awesome music. Period. That's just what they do, man. I love it. Definitely check it out. Like I said, I do truly think that this is the most accessible Mastodon album, potentially. Like maybe The Hunter is a little bit more accessible because it is a little bit more on a poppier side at times, where this one I feel has more just rock and roll moments, but I think it's way better than their last albums that are more on the accessible side. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for me. I really like Emperor of Sand from Mastodon. Go check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. Check out some other stuff that we have up on our channel. There's a lot of album reviews coming up here because a lot of stuff came out. So thanks for watching. See you later.